Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yoru, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime manga fan. I love all things anime, all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 221. So, what do you think about this week's chapter? If I had to describe this chapter in one word, it would be action. I thought it was a very action-packed, heavy focused chapter where we pretty much see just Yoru and Pochita going at it, similarly to the last couple of chapters. But in this week's chapter, we get pretty much the bonus of seeing what a Michigan sword looks like, which is something that myself had been speculating, and I was wondering how that was going to play out because, I mean, when you hear the word Michigan sword, what do you exactly mean by that? And I think that Fujimoto definitely surprised us in what we were expecting in this chapter. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts out where we left off last time, which was pretty much Yoru creating this Michigan sword and about to use it on Pochita. And as we see all these buildings crumbling into this physical thing that happens to be the Michigan sword, and she proceeds to slice Pochita in half. And an interesting thing to note is how the sword looks like. The design on the sword is hilarious. Only a Fujimoto design, if I would say so myself. Where it's pretty much literally says Michigan and then USA as the cross guild or something like that of the sword. And then the blade itself, it just says Michigan. Hilarious. I love this stuff. I love how wacky Fujimoto gets when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. So great job. And as soon as you see Yoru slice off Pochita in half, she's like, "Oh, great! I did it! I won!" And we see that Pochita then proceeds just to regenerate and bring himself back to one piece. And we see that Yoru was like, "What? There ain't no way!" And she's like, "What? What's going on?" And then we see that Pochita proceeds to pretty much attack Yoru, and as Yoru's blocking the attack, she's blocking it with the sword. We see that Yoru's getting pissed. It's like, you. It's all Pochita, you should be dead. Chainsaw Man, you should die. There's because of you ate something. There's a reason that you're not dying. There's a reason that or she doesn't say die, but she's like, there's a reason why our battle isn't able to come to an end. I don't know what it is, but I know it. And if we have to speculate, it might be because he ate the Death Devil, which is something that I myself was wondering the last chapter of the chapter before. Where we see how the Pochita quote-unquote ate death. There was not too much clarification, but if I had to guess right now, I do believe that Pochita ate the Death Devil. Now, that is not to say that he can in the future not spit out little D. I'm sure that he could, but for the time being, at least from my understanding, the Death Devil is out of the picture, hence why Pochita is just able to regenerate at this rapid pace, because he can't die, And as the chapter continues, we see that the battle going back and forward, and this is where, as Pochita is fighting Yoru. This is where she's like, "Okay, I'm getting fed up. This has to stop." It's like, "People from Michigan, give me your power." And then she's proceeds to do this. You see these people disappear. They literally explode, or they look like they turn into beams of light or something like that. And funny thing to note is that Fumiko happens to be there at Michigan, or one of the Fumikos. And this is where we see that all these people just start disappearing, and you see that Fumiko is like, "Oh," and she just has this sad look in her face because she knows that she's going to be one of the people that disappear. And as she's conjuring all this strength for Michigan, she proceeds to do this attack, and she's like, "Take this," and she does a Michigan slash, which is looks like a powerful attack that is, it looks like she would have put out Pochita out of commission if it wasn't for the Death Devil being consumed, because we see as Pochita takes the attack, he looks like he's out of commission, but then he starts regenerating once again. And this is where Yoru was just getting frustrated. She's like, "No, this can't be. This is annoying. Stop. This is ugh." And this is just okay, you know what? I've had enough. I'm gonna do something about this. And this is where she proceeds to use her quote-unquote secret trump card, which is something that I was like, "Wait, what? What's going on here?" This is where she's like, "People from Virginia." And with the trump card itself, I want to bring this up, is that I was thinking to myself, okay, what are you gonna do now? like, you know, as Yoru's like getting very menacing, like she's like, you know, she's used so many powers and so many tricks up to this point. So I'm like, what is this trump card of yours, you know? And like, she was not lying, because we see as she brings up the whole thing, like, I'm gonna use a trump card to take you down. She's like, people from Virginia, give me your power. And I don't know if I'm the only one that was thinking this, but anytime she was saying like people from Michigan or Virginia, like, am I the only one that was thinking like Goku when he's like, everybody give me your energy for the spirit bomb? Like, am I the only one that was thinking that? I just couldn't stop laughing, because this is like a twisted version of that, in my opinion, where Yoru is just like, people give me your power. But unlike Goku, where he's asking kindly, Yoru's just taking it for herself, you know, because of the contract that she has with the U.S. president. And that's what we see pretty much happen, is that she says like, people from Virginia, give me your strength. And you see all these people that start disappearing as they're cheering on for like an explosion or something. And the next panel is we see that Yoru is like, okay, I'm ready. And she's like, nuclear punch. And this is pretty shocking, you know, all things considered, because I was like, okay, a nuclear punch, like, is she gonna use like a nuclear weapon right now? And Lord behold, it looks like she does, because as she punches Pochita, we see that great paneling, by the way, on Fujimoto's part during the sequence, where she punches Pochita, and then you see like a beam of light. And as this light continues to grow more and more bright, you see all the people around being like surprised by it. And then eventually comes down to looks like a huge explosion, which is where the chapter ends, where we see this big ruckus everywhere, this big chaos where all these buildings are being destroyed, similar to like a nuclear warhead being launched, which is pretty much what she did with this nuclear punch. And you just see a big explosion everywhere. And this is where I'm wondering, like, okay, Pochita, is he gonna be like disintegrate or burn to a crisp, but then just regenerate because of the Death Devil being taken out of commission? Because if Pochita can tank a nuclear weapon like that, that would be insane. And you know, like I said, you know, if the Death Devil's really out of commission for the time being, he should be able to just walk it off, which would be hilarious. Because like, I know Yoru would be even more pissed about the whole situation, because she already is annoyed at the fact that no matter what she throws at Pochita is just walking it off like it's nothing. But yeah, this chapter had great action sequences, and now I'm wondering, like, okay, is she just gonna keep stacking up like people from the US? Is she gonna say, like, is she gonna name all the 50 states? Is Fujimoto gonna list all 50 states so Yoru can get this the ultimate power? Because obviously Michigan didn't cut it, Virginia probably most likely won't cut it. So then you got to think about all these other states. Is Delaware gonna be the one that cuts it? Is it gonna be the South Dakota or the North Dakota? You know, is it gonna be like, you know, New Mexico? Is it gonna take like Walter White coming out? Like, you know, I'm just joking. But in all seriousness, this chapter is awesome, and I can't wait to see how this fight pretty much ends up, because I'm sure that in the next couple of chapters is where we finally are gonna wrap up the fight between Yoru and Pochita. How's that fight gonna end? I still don't know, because it's Fujimoto. You can never really guess anything when it comes to my man. My man's unpredictable. I mean, if you would have told me like 6 months ago, like, hey, Fujimoto's gonna use this sword called the Michigan Sword in the later chapters, I would have been like, what are you talking about? But now, in retrospect, I'm like, you know what? If tomorrow I hear someone tell me, like, you know what, a time traveler tell me, you know, next chapter you're gonna see Fujimoto pull up like the Delaware machine gun or something, I would have been like, you know what, I believe you 100%. But yeah, this chapter, you know, it was crazy, man. It was a blast, literally. And I'm wondering if we're gonna see more Fumiko's like across to see point of views of like whatever cities that Yoru takes over, like in the sense that she's like, lend me your strength. Are we gonna see more Fumiko's across the states, or what exactly we're gonna see her, because we saw that she was there. But yeah, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.